You might not think twice about the bag you carry. After all, it's just a bag, right? But here's a little secret most women don't realize. The wrong handbag, no matter how expensive or practical, can quietly age you. It can drag your posture down, distort your proportions, or send a message that you haven't updated your style in decades. And that's not what you deserve. Because by the time you reach your 60s, you've already mastered so much, and your confidence, your voice, your grace, your style should reflect that. But somewhere along the way, many of us hold on to bags we bought 10, even 20 years ago, thinking they're neutral or still useful. The truth is, fashion has changed, and the accessories that once worked might now be working against you. That slouchy canvas tote you used to carry everything, it's not doing your figure any favors. That shiny little evening clutch with rhinestones, it might be sending the wrong kind of sparkle. And don't get me started on bags plastered with giant logos. They often scream louder than we'd like. Now, this video isn't about making you throw everything out. Not at all. It's about helping you spot which bags may be holding you back from your most elegant, current, and confident self. And most importantly, I'll be showing you what to carry instead. Because when you switch to the right bag, one that's structured, timeless, and flattering, something shifts. You feel pulled together, you walk taller, you look richer, not because of the price tag, but because of the poise it brings out in you. So let's start with the first style to say goodbye to. And I promise, what comes next will surprise you. Let's start with the kind of bag most of us have owned, and maybe even loved for years. The soft, oversized tote. It feels familiar. It holds everything you could possibly need, from your wallet and phone to a paperback novel, a water bottle, an umbrella, and maybe a snack or two. But here's the quiet truth. That slouchy tote might be making you look older, heavier, and more tired than you actually are. Why? Because it lacks structure. And after 60, structure becomes your best friend in both life and fashion. A shapeless bag tends to collapse, sink, and stretch in all the wrong places. It pulls your outfit down. It slumps off your shoulder. It hides your waist and exaggerates your hips. It can make even your most elegant coat or dress appear disorganized. You might think it looks relaxed and effortless, but to others, it may look like you grabbed a laundry bag on the way out the door. And while that sounds harsh, it's not meant to be. It's simply a reminder that as we grow older, less effort doesn't always equal effortless. If you're someone who's constantly rummaging through your bag, if you've ever dropped your purse and had 5 things roll out in public, or if your tote often ends up sitting on the floor like a puddle, you deserve better. So what's the solution? Replace your slouchy tote with a structured handbag that stands on its own, one with crisp lines, firm edges, and thoughtful design. Not only will it hold your items more securely, but it also adds polish to your entire appearance. The moment you put it on, you'll notice something strange and wonderful. You stand taller. You walk more deliberately. You feel put together, even in jeans and a tee. Choose materials like high-quality leather or a refined vegan alternative. Go for classic tones, camel, chocolate, deep navy, or ivory, that complement your wardrobe without overpowering it. And be mindful of the size. You don't need to carry the whole house. You just need enough room for what you actually use. And nothing more. Even small touches, like short handles or minimal hardware, can make a world of difference. Remember, a bag doesn't just carry your belongings. It carries your energy, your story, and the way you feel walking into a room. So if your current tote feels more like baggage than beauty, maybe it's time to let it go and choose something that lifts you up, not weighs you down. Let's talk about a bag that's practical, popular, and, let's be honest, and often overused. The sporty crossbody, usually made of nylon or synthetic materials, these bags are built for utility. Lightweight, easy to clean, and full of zippers. They're the kind you might take on a walk, to the farmer's market, or on vacation. And for that purpose, they make perfect sense. But here's the catch. When a sporty crossbody becomes your everyday handbag, it slowly chips away at the elegance of your outfit. It flattens your look. These bags, with their droopy shapes and plastic buckles, send one message loud and clear: function over style. Now, there's nothing wrong with functionality, especially at our age, but you no longer need to choose between comfort and beauty. You can, and should, have both. Sporty bags tend to clash with tailored clothing, structured coats, or feminine dresses. They don't enhance your outfit, they interrupt it. And the thin, long straps that cut diagonally across your chest, they often emphasize the bust or create unflattering tension on the neckline, especially with delicate blouses or softer knits. In photos, this type of bag can even slice your silhouette in half. So what's the alternative? Look for a crossbody bag made of leather or faux leather with a structured body and a slightly wider strap. Opt for a soft rectangular shape, not too wide, not too deep, that hugs the side of your hip rather than bouncing around as you move. Better yet, find one with interchangeable straps, a classic leather one for dressier days, and a woven or canvas option for casual wear. This one simple upgrade will lift your outfit immediately. Choose rich, neutral colors like sand, espresso, olive green, or soft burgundy. These hues bring warmth to your look without screaming for attention. And instead of zippers all over the front, go for a minimalist design. Maybe one flap, one clasp, one quiet detail that says, "I know who I am." Bonus tip: a crossbody with a curved or rounded edge, like a saddlebag or half-moon shape, can soften angular body lines and add a touch of femininity. And remember, the way your bag moves with you matters. A cheap, floppy crossbody bounces and twists. A well-made one glides with your stride like it belongs there. That's the kind of quiet confidence we're aiming for. So if your current go-to is a nylon bag you once bought for travel, maybe it's time to retire it from your daily life. Save it for the airport, not the cafe, not the dinner party, not your elegant lunch date, because your everyday self deserves more than just practical. You deserve beauty that's as functional as it is flattering. There's nothing wrong with loving designer handbags. You've worked hard, you've earned the right to indulge in something beautiful, and there's a special kind of pride that comes with carrying a finely made bag. But here's the shift that often happens quietly after 60. What once felt like a statement now starts to feel like a distraction. Big logos, bold patterns, oversized initials stamped across the front. They used to make us feel seen. But now, they might be making us look like we're trying too hard. Because here's the truth, most won't say out loud. Loud logos don't age well. They tend to follow trends, and trends by nature expire. That logo you once adored may now scream of another decade. Or worse, it may overpower the rest of your outfit. At this stage in life, your presence speaks louder than any label ever could. You don't need a bag to introduce you. And isn't that a kind of freedom? To walk into a room with quiet confidence without needing your handbag to do the talking. So if your closet still holds one of those loud, logo-covered designer bags, don't feel guilty. They had their time. They served their purpose. But now, it might be time for something more refined. Try replacing it with a logo-free, high-quality leather bag. Something with weight, with softness, with beautiful stitching and a graceful silhouette. Let the materials speak for themselves. Think about a satchel in soft dove gray, a structured top handle in smooth saddle brown, or a minimalist crossbody in rich oxblood. No monogram, just quiet elegance. These kinds of bags say so much more by saying so little. And you'll notice the difference instantly. People won't be looking at your bag. They'll be looking at you. Because nothing looks richer than restraint. Nothing feels more luxurious than timeless simplicity. And here's the secret. The women who truly live with grace. They often choose the most expensive-looking bags that don't show any logo at all. If you still love designer brands, that's perfectly fine. But choose the pieces that whisper rather than shout. Look for collections known for craftsmanship, not just name recognition. And don't be afraid to explore emerging designers, small leather ateliers, or vintage gems, the kind of treasures that spark curiosity, not comparison. In the end, your handbag should feel like an extension of you, not a sales tag dangling from your arm, because by now your taste has matured, your standards have risen, and your bag should rise with you. There was a time when tiny shoulder bags were everywhere. They hugged the underarm. They dangled from delicate straps. They were sleek, minimal, and felt like the height of early 2000s style. And let's be honest, many of us still have one tucked away in the closet. But here's the thing about fashion. What once flattered your figure in your 30s or 40s may not do the same at 60 and beyond. Tiny shoulder bags, especially those with very short straps and slim shapes, can actually throw off your proportions. They tend to sit awkwardly high under the arm, adding bulk to the bust and upper torso. If your shoulders have softened or your posture has changed with time, these bags can look tight, out of place, even juvenile. Instead of adding polish, they create imbalance. And because they're so small, you're often left stuffing them to the brim, which can make them bulge or lose shape quickly. They also don't pair well with modern, flowy silhouettes or structured layering. A well-fitted blazer, a long coat, or even a soft cardigan deserves something more substantial at its side. Now, that doesn't mean you have to abandon the shoulder bag altogether. You just need to upgrade the proportions and choose something that mirrors the grace you carry today. Consider a half-moon bag or crescent-shaped shoulder bag. Still sleek, but with a longer drop and softer edges. These bags fall just below the bust, skimming the waist in a gentle curve that flatters your figure rather than interrupting it. They feel grown-up, elegant, and modern. You might also love a soft hobo bag, not the oversized floppy kind, but a well-structured version made in pebbled leather or suede. It molds to your body without collapsing under its own weight. Another favorite, the small satchel with a shoulder strap, a classic shape that blends the femininity of a purse with the practicality of space. Choose refined finishes, subtle stitching, gold or brushed hardware, clean lines. And avoid bags with chain straps that dig into the shoulder or loud buckles that clash with delicate fabrics. When it comes to color, keep it elevated. A soft caramel, slate blue, rich ivory, or deep berry adds depth to your look without overwhelming it. The goal is to find a bag that feels like part of your body, not something you have to fidget with or hold in place. So if that tiny shoulder bag you once wore to cocktail parties now feels more fussy than fabulous, trust your instinct. You've grown, so should your accessories. And the right shoulder bag. It won't just match your outfit, it will match your evolution. There's something undeniably tempting about a sparkly evening bag, the shimmer, the delicate beading, the promise that it will make your outfit pop in just the right way. But here's what often happens after a certain age. That once dazzling clutch starts to feel like it's trying too hard. It catches the light, yes, but also catches too much attention. It can make a refined outfit feel louder than intended. And instead of highlighting your elegance, it sometimes distracts from it. Because true sophistication isn't about sparkle, it's about balance. Many of these over-embellished evening bags, especially those with rhinestones, sequins, feathers, or heavy metallic shine, were designed to be worn once, maybe twice. They belong more to the idea of a party than to the woman herself. And as we grow older, we begin to understand. We no longer need our accessories to perform. We need them to support us, quietly, beautifully, with grace. That's why it may be time to rethink the evening bag. Instead of something glittery and loud, consider a textured bag in a rich, matte material. Velvet, satin, brushed suede, or soft metallic leather with a muted finish. These fabrics reflect light in a way that's soft and sophisticated, more candlelight than disco ball. Choose simple, clean shapes. A structured clutch, a slim top handle, or a small shoulder bag with gentle curves. Avoid bags that are too tiny to hold anything meaningful. You deserve space for your phone, your reading glasses, your lipstick, and a little comfort. Hardware should be minimal and intentional. A single gold clasp, a satin-wrapped frame, a quiet magnetic fold. These small touches say, I care about the details, without needing to shout. When it comes to color, think tone-on-tone beauty. A deep navy velvet against a navy dress, a bronze satin with an ivory wrap, or a soft rose gold paired with warm neutral tones. The effect is layered, thoughtful, and utterly timeless. Because an evening bag should not compete with your glow. It should support it, reflect it. It should feel good in your hand, natural under your arm, and completely in tune with the woman you are, not the girl you used to be. So if you find yourself hesitating before picking up that bedazzled clutch you wore in your 40s, trust that instinct. You're not being too critical. You're evolving, and your style deserves to evolve with you. Because after 60, the most radiant thing in the room isn't your handbag. It's the way you carry yourself. Quietly confident, undeniably refined. There comes a moment in every woman's life when she no longer asks, does this look good on me? She asks, does this feel like me? That moment is freedom, and often it arrives right around the time you stop caring about keeping up and start caring about standing tall. Every handbag we've talked about, the droopy totes, the sporty crossbodies, the logo-plastered purses, the tiny shoulder bags, and the oversparkled clutches, once had a place in your story. You carried them with purpose, with pride, with joy. But here's the truth. Not everything is meant to follow you forever. Some things are meant to stay in the past, along with old insecurities, old standards, and the feeling that you have to dress young to be noticed. Because at this stage, you don't need anyone's attention. What you carry, on your arm and in your heart, already says so much. You are refined, experienced, elegant in a way that can't be copied. And the bag at your side should reflect that. It should support your posture, not drag it down. It should match the richness of your skin, your smile, your spirit, not steal the spotlight. And above all, it should feel like home, like something you chose for you. Not because it was on trend, not because someone told you to, but because it made you feel more yourself than anything else could. That's the power of intentional style. Not perfection, but alignment. Choosing what serves you now, not what used to, not what the magazines say, not what your daughter might wear, just what makes you feel grounded, graceful, and beautifully present. And sometimes, it starts with something as simple as your bag, the one you carry to the grocery store, to your book club, to the doctor's appointment, the coffee date, the museum, the church service, the Sunday stroll. It's not just an accessory, it's a companion, a reflection, a quiet detail that tells the world she knows who she is, and she doesn't need to say a word. So if you've been holding on to bags that no longer suit you, this is your permission to let them go. Without guilt, without hesitation. You're not discarding the memories, you're just making space for what's next. And what's next is even more beautiful. Because now, you don't carry just things. You carry confidence, self-respect, decades of stories and wisdom and style earned, not borrowed. So choose bags that carry you just as beautifully. Quiet, elegant, intentional. And let the world watch you walk by and wonder, not what brand you're wearing, but how you shine so effortlessly.